Welcome to this edition of the Going OB Golf Podcast.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Going OB Golf Podcast, where we navigate the ups, downs, and going out of bounds of the game of golf. It's like my catchphrase.
Very good.
I do. I love it. I love it.
I say I came up with a catchphrase. Good old ChatGPT. Never lets you down. How are you?
Oh, that's brilliant. Really good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. How's things, Oliver?
Good, yeah. Busy as always, but
Good. You're just back for work, are you?
yeah.
Busy day at the coalface. Well, you were saying it's not as busy today.
Busy enough.
Busy enough. Yeah.
Nice.
You were golfing last week, Danny, yeah? You're not playing last
I
Thursday?
did. Yeah, I played last Thursday in a charity event for Ricky Neal Jones, who was a golfer that I grew up playing junior golf with in various different events. And sadly, a few years ago, he died from pancreatic cancer. So we set up not we, but his family set up a charity golf day, and it's just going from strength to strength. And they just blasted through the £100,000 money raised barrier last Thursday. So it was really good, and it's just it really is every year a celebration of a guy who had just such fondness. Like, he was not only a fantastic golfer, but he never had a bad word to say about anybody. He was the life and soul of the party, and everyone loved him. And he'd just landed his dream job in Dubai as head coach of the Emirates Golf Club.
Right.
And yeah, he came back home after his diagnosis and lasted 6 months. And it was incredibly sad, but everyone is just keeping his memory alive and raising money for underprivileged children to be able to have good days out, basically. And yeah, it like I said, like the whole day is actually incredibly joyful and full of memories and absolute banger stories about Rick. So yeah, it's really good.
That's brilliant. We'll get some links down if they've got any just giving pages or websites,
Yeah.
Instagram pages.
Absolutely.
Just chuck them over to me, and we'll make sure they get put in the description links for the show. How did you play though?
It's a really weird setup. Okay, so they make it really good fun. We teed off in an 8-ball, and so I had a partner called Jordan, and he plays on Challenge Tour, and he's just actually going out and going to go for tour school, etc. So I played with him, and he and we had to play greensomes on the first 9, and then we had to play foursomes on the second 9. The first 9, I was so pleased it was greensomes because I played so badly. Like, I kept on, every time I'd hit a shot, I just looked at him and I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Oh God, this is really embarrassing. Like that. He was like, don't worry about it. But we were like 4 or 5 under by the end of it. And so we got to the halfway hut, and we had like shots of rum. I had 2 bottles of Peroni, and literally the Peroni legs came in and I was rolling putts in from all over the place. And they were like, right, next year, Dan, you're going to start at 8 o'clock, like Peronis for you at 8 o'clock, your shots of rum at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it is, I don't condone that. I don't play golf under the influence usually, but it's a charity day. It's to raise money. And yeah, I actually played really well in the afternoon, the last 9.
So you're a bit of a John Daly then, are you?
Oh God, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I mean, look, I know that I didn't end up recording with Becky. I'll never make that mistake again, by the way. But we had, hopefully she'll retell the story next time I do the interview with her. But there was a particular pro-am that we did where it was pretty lively the day before the event, and I was quite unwell.
Right.
and then ended up finishing 4th in the Norwegian Open. So
Oh, no.
it just, it was just one of those things where you just sort of, oh gosh, yeah, I'm just so tired. You have no expectation whatsoever.
Yeah.
But there we go. That's another thing. Like I say, don't condone it. It was just one.
That's a get me off this golf course type of day. Eh? I'm
It
here because I
was.
need
It
to
was.
be here, but I just want off the golf course.
We all have them.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do.
Exactly.
Oliver, that's not something you need to start taking into your career, by the way. So don't listen to.
No.
I know I said it'll be brilliant, and Danny will be able to give you like her knowledge and her experiences and stuff, but don't start drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning before you
No.
go. Before you
No,
go play
definitely
golf.
don't.
Did you get any golf in this week? Were you playing this weekend, Oliver? Or?
I might be playing at some point, but the weather here is, as you know, Craig, not the nicest at the moment.
No, it's horrendous.
It's
I
a bit
played 9
windy.
holes on Sunday. My son had a football match in the morning, so we went up for a few holes in the afternoon, and the leaves have fair come down, and they're all in piles, and you're hitting balls, and if it skirts off the fairway and it goes in a pile of leaves, you're just losing golf balls left, right and centre. So
Start to use the bad golf balls now.
yeah, well, I'll
That's
tell you how
easy.
that round ended. So we started, and I've been playing these Kirkland signature balls because they're like a decent enough ball to play for my ability level. Started off with a par, and I'm like, today's the day. Then stood on the second tee, which, as you know, at my place, Oliver, is now is a big gully, and there's trees, and you have to go over a forest, right? It's about 120-yard carry over like forest, and people walking past with their dogs and all sorts of stuff.
Oh my God.
That's a nightmare.
Anyway, I think I stuck a ball in. I think I stuck the first ball in some guy's ensuite because it just faded out to the right, and I lost that one. Knocked the next one over. Anyway, I had an
You
8
did.
then. Faded, yeah. It's my power fade. Fade, block, slice, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So we lost that one. Dropped the next one. I had an 8, and then another 8, and then I stood on the par 3, 4th, blasted a ball into the bushes. I was like, right, got another clean ball out, blasted that in the bushes, and I only had 2 golf balls in my bag. So I had to borrow one to finish that hole, and then as I was walking up to stand on the 5th tee, I found a golf ball, a Hogan ball, that had been chewed up by the tractor, so it was missing like some of the cover, and you could see the like green stuff underneath
Don't
it.
tell me.
So I'm like, I'm going to play with this. I'm going to play with this. So I played the par 4-5, 1 over. Played the par 4 6th, parred it, and then the par 5 7th, I lost the ball because by that point it was like
Nothing
just basically the insides of the ball. Right, there was no cover left on the top of this ball. But I think it was a psychological thing. I think I was like, right, this ball's not going to go as far. I'm just going to club up and hit it a bit because it'll get the distances, and then I was fine. But I won't be playing broken Hogan balls again. But that was a 50.
Not advisable.
No, so I've shot a 54, and that's over the front. That's over the 9-hole course. So that's that was my last non-counter for my handicap. So the next 3 times I put in scores, they're going to be counters. So this is where the lessons need to start. So that's the end of my pissing about with stupid scores and whatever else. The next time I put a card in April next year, after my lessons, I'll be good to go. That's the plan anyway.
Well, I think that sounds fantastic. I think, like you say, you've got yourself a plan, couple more rounds, and then they're going to start counting.
I think that's what everyone's plan is over the winter, but
yeah,
it doesn't really happen that way.
Everybody starts that, Oliver. Right, we're going to go to in fact, you've got no excuse. The driving range is literally across the road from your house.
Well,
and
I am a 9-hole golf course.
And a 9-hole golf course.
We'll keep that quiet.
You should be getting lower than me over the winter. So, in fact, I think we need to negotiate some sort of a challenge here for over the winter months and into next year, and we'll see who can get the lowest. But I might be buying myself new clubs as well. Decided I'm going to treat myself over.
Oh, blimey!
I know.
Oh, splashing the cashy over there.
Exactly. Do you advocate getting fitted for clubs, Danny? Would you always get fitted for clubs?
Yeah. I would never, ever go and buy a club off the shelf. I just wouldn't do it, because I just think that if you're going to be spending that much time on a golf course, which you do, 4 hours, if you're slogging 4 hours around trying to get an enjoyment out of it, and it's not even fitted for you, because let's face it, not everyone gets it back at like a standard loft and lie. You're just putting yourself at a huge disadvantage, and also you're taking away the enjoyment out of a club that's fitted for your swing. And yeah, I think it's like anything. If you're going to enter into a hobby and you think it's something that you're going to end up enjoying for a long time, then you wait and then get your clubs fitted. I just would never ever not get my clubs fitted.
Yeah, I've had clubs fitted in the past.
Ludicrous.
Right? And I had clubs fitted in the past, right, years ago, and I had a set of TaylorMades, and they had KBS light shafts in them. So I played them, and then I went for a PXG fitting a couple of years later, and I got fitted for them, and they're like, yeah, the shaft's still good. It's a stiff flex shaft that you need. They'll be fine. So I got fitted for them, kind of a similar one. Then I only had like a half set of the PXG ones. Traded them in, and I got my Cobras that I'm playing with now, but they've got the same shaft in them. So I'm still thinking a stiff shaft's still a stiff shaft. It's not going to make that much of a difference. So what I want to do is, because as you said, it's a very expensive hobby, this, right? I need to buy a driver because I don't have a driver, and I need to get a couple of woods to make sure I can do things properly, right? So I was going to go and get that end fitted. But I thought if I went and bought myself Costco irons, right, that have Kirkland irons that have got a stiff shaft in them, they'll be fine. And then I can get a better driver, 3-wood, 5-wood, mini driver, whatever else I was going to get.
Yeah.
Or do you think I just go the whole hog?
Well, I mean, Oliver would. Okay. I like a stiff shaft is not just a stiff shaft, by the way. Just putting it out there. A stiff shaft. There are many variants of stiff shaft. There's different kick points. There's different weights. Yeah, exactly. There's, there's. What are they, Oliver? What are they called where they don't have any of the ridges down the shaft and they become like a?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean though? So
I know what you mean, but I don't know what they're called.
Tapered ones.
No, because they're all tapered, aren't they? But basically, like going down the shaft, you have like these little ridges, and then other ones they're completely straight. They don't have any of the ridges. They have different kick points. They're different weights, and all of those things. So stiff shafts aren't necessarily stiff, because I have a lightweight stiff shaft that has a fairly high kick point. So really, I could probably go into a regular shaft, but occasionally I like to try and hit it hard. So therefore, I have something that allows me to do a bit of both if I want to. Right. And it doesn't generate too much spin. So yes and no, you could buy an off-the-shelf set of clubs and then go and have a fitting done with loft and lies, and that would at least give you a little bit of tailor-make sort of like custom fitting. That's the word I was looking for. So that could be an option, and like you say, but it is what it is. I don't know whether you'd be better off getting a few irons and a woods that are custom made to see what your custom fit would be, and then maybe take a cheaper set of cut like irons to a club fitter, and then they can tweak it for you. You could do that.
Yeah. I'll have to have a think about it, but I went up to have a look at sets of irons, and they're like £1,200-1,300 for a set of irons, and then £500-600 for drivers and whatever else. Yeah, it is an expensive hobby, but if I'm trying to get better, then I potentially need to do that. But I was like, well, if these Kirkland ones will work, I'll just take them. And then there was something in it that was like, I want to be the guy that gets better using budget irons.
Yeah.
and
see, that's a good idea.
See if it really does make a difference.
The Kirkland irons are meant to be actually not bad.
They get
they're
good
supposed
reviews.
To be quite nice. Yeah.
They do get good reviews. I've not heard anybody saying that.
Off of other brands.
Yeah.
So they copied them, Oliver. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, not sure if I was allowed to say that, but yeah.
I just crack
Copy
on.
them.
They basically copied TaylorMade, didn't they? And got
Yeah.
sued for it. So,
Yeah.
Did they?
I-
I did not know this.
And they copied Titleist with the wedges as well.
yeah. Well, there was
Wow.
And the
there was a story at one
Ball
point
as
though that
well.
there was a story at one point though that the Titleist were making the wedges for them because it had the California Golf
Yeah.
Company, and they
Yeah,
thought
I
that it
heard.
was Hokie that was making them.
Yeah, and they've done a sort of not sponsorship, but
Yeah.
airing.
But I think Costco are just like, nah, we'll just copy your design and you can sue
Yeah.
us if you want. It'll take us so long and we'll tie you up in so many loopholes. It's all to do with injection molding, Daniel. I'll not bore you with the details. But they've got videos where
I know you're
videos
not
where
a tech.
they've got videos where they've cut the Kirkland ones in half and cut the, is it P790s, Oliver, or P770s?
90s, I
Right.
think. They're probably
And they
quite
look
similar anyway.
identical. They look identical inside. And that's where TaylorMade are like, yeah, you've just ripped us off. And
Yeah.
Kirkland have been like, no, we haven't. Some engineer came
Well,
up with that.
Yeah. You know, I think so many. I mean, look at blimmin' Aldi with their food. It goes on in
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
single company.
and we
Yeah.
all go for the cheaper one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I
imitation's
definitely
the
have
highest
a,
form of flattery, is it not?
It is
Imitation,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, that's enough about my golf troubles. I will get back to you and keep you updated what I decide to do with those ones. I think Oliver's rocking TaylorMades now, aren't you? He did have a
Yeah.
set of tight lists.
Well,
and then
I know
we
you.
played the
I
other.
know you've been trying my driver
Yeah.
the last time.
But I had a regular shaft on it, Danny, and it was all over the place.
Yeah,
It was
So
a bit too
that's
flexy.
I mean, you hit it well.
Aye.
So
yeah. It was a bit like a pool noodle. So so maybe that's why I
However,
thought
I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, yeah.
don't say
Because I
that.
swung that fast that it was like a
Yeah.
pool noodle. Anyway, enough about the drivel that is my golf. So what I wanted to speak to you about this week, we touched on it last week when we did the kind of introduction part, and myself and Oliver crossed paths years ago when he was a junior at the golf club I was railroaded by Robert Ross. I'm name dropping him on here. There's no other way to put it. I offered to help him out because he was doing it on his own. And I was like, I'll give you a hand. Next thing I
And you
know,
left.
I've put your name forward for the committee, Craig. Your name's been accepted. Can you go to this meeting? And then I became the junior convener. So, which was fine, right? Because I was dead keen, and we put some events on, tried to get juniors to come along.
Yep.
We had a hot dog and pizza type night thing where I was like, come along, tell me what you want out of the junior section, and we'll try and go from there. Because the thing Robert was struggling with was trying to get numbers to turn up for medals. So you were sometimes only getting maybe 2 or 3, you Oliver, weren't you?
I mean, I think there was one where it was just me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was,
First prize.
he
and I
was
wasn't
club
really-
champion by
Oh, yeah.
default.
I mean, my name's on the
Brilliant.
trophy, but
Yeah. Oliver, you can only beat what's in front of you. And if nobody else turns
Yeah.
up, then
well, that's not my
you win.
fault.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. That's not your fault. So, yeah, we tried to get some events on the go, tried to get some team games, and everybody was keen initially to let's go and play the team event. So each club in the Lothians had their own wee team, and they would go and play against other ones, similar to what you covered when you were speaking to Tom the other week about going and playing junior golf in England. And you went to each of the clubs, you did a bit of hosting and things like that. We were then struggling to get a team out because golf was a second sport for the majority of the kids that were doing it. A couple of them were quite good at rugby, some of them were good at hockey, some of them were studying as well. So they were unable to kind of commit to playing in the team every week. So we then ended up having to forfeit it, and the team folded. Now, the club had a really good history of junior golf about maybe 10, 12 years ago. They won all the competitions. They were away representing Scotland, picked to represent Scotland in like the Home Nations Cups. They went and played away in Spain. But they guys obviously grew up, got integrated into the club, became adults and moved on. And then the next generation never really picked up from where they were, and the numbers dwindled. So I stuck around as best we could. We did try to get events organised. It then just became really difficult and really quite clear that a lot of the kids were there because it was a free membership, and a lot of their parents played. So it was something to kind of, I've got a membership and I'll take my son or my daughter along. She's dropped off.
No, you've
Who,
gone to
me?
just on.
Now you're just a big
Who?
D.
Who, me?
Hello?
Oh.
She's on mute.
Hello.
She's on mute, yeah. On mute.
Am I back or am I still a big C?
You're just a big C.
Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can
Yeah,
hear you
you're a
now,
big-
yeah.
You're a big D now,
How-
Danny.
Yeah, but I can see myself. How weird is
I know
that?
it's weird. It's weird because I'm talking and I can see me, but I can't see either of you two.
So I can see Oliver still. You're still a big C.
Right.
And I can see none of you.
And you can see that.
And
I can see me.
oh, I wonder if it's because we're trying to go up to you. Because I'm on like fibre. How
Right,
weird
okay.
is that?
It's saying slow internet connection for somebody.
Ye-
So I don't know whether it's something to do with that. Mind you had that issue last week.
Yes.
Let me do while you're still you guys carry on. I'm gonna do a speed test.
Right. I don't think it'll be you, Danny, because your picture was crystal clear.
It might be me.
Mine is a bit.
Oh, Oliver.
Yeah. Oh,
Come on.
jeez, oh.
He's not even touched anything and it's still done. Right, so where were we? Don't worry, because we'll edit this all together and it'll sound really professional.
At least I'm on the laptop today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically, we the team kind of dwindled off. It was everybody's kind of second sport and it moved on. A lot of the kids were just there because the parents had got them a membership, probably so that they could sneak out. I know I certainly got Oscar one because I was like, I'm taking Oscar to golf, stay sober off for a wee while, and it made it look less like me just buggering off to the golf and leaving her with the kids. But I spoke to the secretary at the club when I was handing in my resignation because I was leaving, and he was saying that it's happening all over Scotland, and that a lot of the clubs are now struggling to get juniors involved, despite offering things like cheaper or reduced membership, free lessons from the pros. As we've just discussed there, golf equipment is really expensive. So trying to get clubs and equipment and the right type of stuff for the kids all adds up. So he did a bit of a check, and it turned out that I think Scottish junior golf had something like 1,000 followers on their social media channel, whereas Cricket Scotland, which is not a big sport up here, it's not watched nearly as much as it is down in England, had something like 35,000 subscribers. So more people were interested in Scotland's junior cricket team than they were in the junior golf. Now, Scotland has a history of major champions and players who were never major champions, a la Colin Montgomery, but we've had like Sandy Lyle and things like that. Bob McIntyre's knocking on the door. So we have had this history of being a golfing nation. It's where it started, for God's sake, and we're now struggling to get juniors to come through. So I'm interested, Danny, as to if you know of how these type of things work down south and what they're maybe doing south of the border that's better than what we're doing up here, and if there's anything that we can draw on.
To be honest with you, obviously we're probably gonna have way more funding. We're going to have way more funding. We've got access to inland courses, way more inland courses probably as well. And maybe the lower end of the golf courses, we've maybe have more council-run golf courses that allow like juniors to go and play golf on a fairly decent track, to be totally honest with you. We're not talking pitch and putt. So it could be something as simple as that rather than the drive. It might just be an accessibility thing, to be honest with you. I without probably speaking to a young Scottish golfer of maybe 17 years old of what it was like or what it is like growing up as a teenager or like an early tween to try and get into golf up in Scotland, I wouldn't know because, I got into golf. My dad played. I went to a driving range. I got spotted by a lady golfer that was walking up the 9th hole. And that was the end of that. All of a sudden fell into county training. You're well supported through county training. You're given every bit of information, every single junior. So we didn't really necessarily, I know you were saying, and the team folded. We didn't really have any teams. It was by the way, here's the list of the junior opens in the county. And I mean, we're talking, there might be 20. And it would be Tudor Park Junior Open, Bearsted Junior Open, Cobtree Junior Open, Ashford Junior Open, Prince's Junior, and you would just look at the dates and your mum and dad would go, right, we can do that one. We can't do that when we're on holiday. We can do that one. And your parents just developed you a summer of junior golf. There was no teams that I was part of, apart from a junior, like a county team. There wasn't like a club team. There was no teams like that at all. Not that I was definitely a part of. So, yeah, we didn't have anything like that. It was just your junior organiser at your club would pin up on the board a list of all the junior opens. Your mum and dad would collect them, and the club would probably have a load of the entry forms printed out, and you had to put them in a blimmin' envelope and post them off. There was no email entries or anything like that. So I don't know if that's something that you guys have up there, is just a massive list of junior opens that are being played during the summer holidays, because that's really all it was for us.
Yeah. See, I thought you had kind of like team setups and then you kind of represented your club and then you moved on to
No
the levels and stuff, because that was where that's definitely the way they try to do up here, all, isn't it?
Yeah, they're trying to.
So you get a club team?
Club teams. And then
wow.
There.
And then they still go and play in individual events. They still go and play in individual events and things, but they don't. It's all kind of more based on the team aspect. And they obviously do have the opens, but yeah, it's trying to get, as I say, getting kids to commit. And I think when you've got a convener and you're like, right, we're going to try and run a medal on the Sunday, and you're getting 2 or 3 people turning up, that's not. Yeah. It's not really going to work, and you then.
No.
Well, Sundays is quite often the day that every sport does. So.
Yeah.
It's quite.
Yeah, if it's not your primary sport, then you're not going to go and put 4 hours into your non-primary sport on a Sunday.
When you could spend doing the other one.
Yeah. It's really, I think it's really difficult, and to make it more interesting than the other sports that they could possibly do. That's the thing. And I think with golf, the learning curve of golf, and I definitely found this trying to get my daughter into it, the learning curve of golf is so steep. The enjoyment doesn't come for quite some time until you can consistently move the ball forward. Until you can consistently move the ball forward, it is hard, it's embarrassing, it's frustration. And a lot of kids these days, they're like, why am I doing this? Like, I'm embarrassed when I miss it. I'm frustrated when I fluff it to the left or right. And even my good shots aren't great because I haven't got the skill to get the club face back to the ball consistently. So it's such a...
That's not just kids, Danny. That's not just kids.
I was about to say, I think me and Craig are still at that stage.
We did that, yeah. But it is, and I suppose it is, we are in a kind of generation as well where we're in a generation as well where if it's too hard, you just kind of stop. So,
Yeah.
you know, if you keep going for these lessons, and nobody's really got time these days, I don't think, kids-wise, to go and grind for 2 hours or, you know, get dropped off at the golf club and in the summer holidays, play a bit in the morning, go for some lunch, play a bit in the afternoon, and then get a few holes after tea before you go home, because that's the only way you're going to get better at it. But
Yeah.
I think it's really just a kind of time thing, probably, is one of them. And
Yeah.
as you say, like, if it's too difficult, then yeah, trying to maintain that. Why would you want to keep going back if you're not
Yeah.
progressing?
Yeah, exactly. If you're really if you're struggling, you're going to just go, why am I doing this? And I think the kids that progress are the ones that are naturally fairly gifted with hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
And those kids that are naturally good at other sports will probably progress in golf as well. I mean, I played loads and loads of sports as a kid. And I played fairly decent level at a lot of sports that I tried.
Mhm.
And that was just part of it. But my daughter, who's not very sporty, to throw her into golf was really unkind. But do you know what? She's such a good sport, and she stuck at it. What we did is we got 4 of her friends from school, all non-golfers coming from non-golfing families. And I was like, right, I'm going to grab these 4 girls. I'm going to take them for 1 lesson a week. And we did it for a whole year, even through the winter. And they actually really, really enjoyed it. But none of them play now. You know, I did it for a whole year. I took them every single, I think it was Thursday in the end. And none of them wanted to continue. Because it's just so hard.
Yeah.
And they're not naturally sporty.
No. And if you get to the stage where you are like a bit of an athlete, and you can pick stuff up and be like, right, this is fine. I know where I'm going with this. And you almost need to get instant gratification from it. So, like you said, if you show them something once and they can just go and start piping drives, they'll be like, "But that's fine. I know what I'm doing with.
This is great.
I know what I'm doing with that." Yeah,
Mm.
that was one of the things that kind of stopped Oscar playing. Was one, it's not quick enough for him. You know, like it's very slow. He's got to walk to the ball and then hit another one and then go and do the same thing again. He got bored from there. But he does have decent hand-eye coordination. He used to get coaches coming in for PE lessons at school, and does he want to come to the cricket team? Does he want to come to the basketball team? So they're all hand-eye coordination sports, but he just isn't interested. He's only wanting to go play football. And again, the golf then became a second sport. We would be going to his games on a Sunday morning and then having to take him up to the club in the afternoon, and he just wasn't interested because I just got to go home and have my dinner now, Dad. I've done my kind of activity for the day. That should be me. So it's a topic that I think will continue to rumble on. I think we need to investigate a bit further. So this is an open message to anybody from particularly Scottish golf and Scottish junior golf. Robert Ross, if you're listening to this as well, you can by all means come on and explain the kind of joys that you had, and then where it all kind of, I'm not going to say went wrong, because it's not the case, but just the trials and tribulations of a junior convener. I think would be quite interesting. So by all means, get in touch with us through the podcast links. We've got a new Instagram set up, so we will be doing that. There's going to be more coming in the next couple of months. We will be very slick and professional looking soon, and we will we'll see where it goes from there. But I definitely think, and I'm keen to get somebody to come in and speak to about that and see if there's anything we can maybe do to assist or shine a bit of a light on it, and see where they can get junior golf back in Scotland. Probably be next summer though, I'd imagine, because none of us up here want to go out in the cold and the rain and lose golf balls in the leaves again and stuff.
In the leaves, yeah.
In the leaves. So yeah, as I say, it was a quick one this week. It was just a good catch up. I just want to quickly highlight something that I touched on a couple of weeks ago, and that's the Drive Fore MND event that's taking place. So Tara McTaggart, I've interviewed her before. She is she's doing this for her mum, who was diagnosed with motor neurons disease. They're having an event at Ashkirk driving range on Monday next week, where they're trying to set a target. I think it was over 500,000 miles they're trying to drive the ball. So I just want to remind everybody, you can go on the Drive Fore MND, and it's FOREMND Instagram page. They've got Just Giving links and stuff like that as well. So go on if you can, spare any money you can, or try and get involved, kind of shine a light on this. I'm going to try and get Tara on next week just for a quick recap as to how that event worked, and I'm maybe going to try and do some prizes, prize giveaways to do with that. So keep an eye on the kind of social media channels from there. That's all I've really got this week. Anything from either of you two before we need to wrap up?
No, I'm looking forward to having a long-awaited catch-up with a very good friend of mine, Becky Britton, because I messed up one of the recordings. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the mic and doing it correctly this time. And I'm also looking forward to trying to set up a meeting with that ladies' golf brand as well. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have some exciting new podcasts or video casts or vlogging or something like that to put on the YouTube channel as well as socials.
It's all coming, Danny. It's all happening.
Yeah, perfect.
Oliver, and then from you.
My friend, there's one thing. I've got a friend at work, and he is 17 now. And he has just come back from playing in the States for Scottish Golf.
Right.
So he is still classed as a junior. He still plays for juniors. But at his club, he has to play in the men's competitions.
Is that because of his ability?
Because he's good.
All right.
He's better than everyone else.
What's his handicap?
I think it's +1 or 0.
All right.
But is that fair? Just because you're good? No, you should still play in the juniors, right?
Yeah.
Because
and I'm not being funny. Like it's scratching +1 is as a 17-year-old. Yes, it's very good, but that's not. It's not unheard of.
Well, a handicap's a handicap.
Well, exactly. And if you're playing in events, especially as I understand it now, it seems that the lower you are, the less likely you are to win club events anyway.
Well, yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. I mean, I'm all for playing above your station. I think always pushing yourself and striving and putting yourself in front of better competition. But at the end of the day, he also should get that gratification of winning because he's good.
Yeah.
So have they forced him to do that then? Is the club saying he needs to play against the adults, or is that a choice that he's maybe made that's like, I'm too good for the juniors, I'm going to start playing against?
I'm not quite sure, but I just found it a bit weird.
That is a bit off. And again, that could potentially put him off. Say at a young age he then goes and starts playing against fully grown men, and he's not winning anything, and he maybe decides I'm not going to be good enough to compete with this and gives up. And then that's another one potentially lost to the system. So you can chin him about it and find out. Come back to us next week and let us know if that's been his choice or if he's been kind of had his hand forced from.
I mean, his trip sounds great, but and he does play against other 16-year-olds,
right?
Which makes
good
me think
16-year-olds.
Good ones.
The elite ones. Yeah. Cool. No worries. Well, we'll get that wrapped up from there. It was good to speak to you. We'll get this get this podcast out on the channels, and as I say, social media will be coming soon. So please keep an eye for that. But again, guys, it was good to speak to you, and we'll catch up next week.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, have a good week, guys. Won't you? Speak to you next week.
You too.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.